Hey guys, welcome to my first video today, and we will be changing our EGR. We will be just taking it out. I don't have the part yet, but once we get the part, we will be putting it back in. So all I'll need is a 1/2 inch wrench, and let's get right into it. All right, to start, we'll have to take out our air cleaner cover. So just take these wing nuts off. And I like to do all this separate just to make it a little easier. You remove your top cover, the air filter, and then this needs to come off. It might pop out here, it might pop out here, whichever works. My goodness. Okay. So just like that, and we got it off. We're just gonna go ahead and set all that to the side. And then we got our nice 1/2 inch wrench here. And right there is the EGR. So what I found is if you move this from your idle air control valve, makes it a little easier to get to, and then you need to remove this, which connects to your EGR. And then here's your bolt for the EGR. There's one right there, and then the second one is back in there. As you can see, it's right there. So let me just get in here real quick. Let's grab a sip of coffee. Can't go anywhere without a sip of coffee. And if you guys want to, you can take this out. It's 1.25 inches. Might make it a little easier to get to those bolts for you. But just gonna take my 1/2 inch wrench. Go ahead and get it right on. Bolt right in there. And just go ahead and turn it out. So your stud might decide to come with it. That's okay. We can take it with the stud and everything. We don't have to just take the nuts off. I'll see you guys once I have these out. And one real quick thing, guys. That one, this inside one, is a little bit harder to get. You find a wrench, a little bit more of a bend here, it might work a little bit. It's a little bit hard to get the wrench to go down on that. Just thought I should let you guys know that. Okay, I got those bolts out, and as you guys can see, mine is already loose. I've taken this out before, but if this is the first time it's being taken out, it might be stuck like that a little bit. All you gotta do is shake it a little bit. And mine will rotate. Your guys' might not, because there's the holes right there. But good way to just get this off is this quick connect right here if you can get it. Just it's a little hard to do with one hand. But yeah, just push that tab and then pull it off. And then you just pull the EGR right up. And this is a little bit more of the difficult part, getting it out, but you just pull it out. After that, and make sure once we put that new one in, we'll make sure to scrape that. But that'll be in another video. We got the EGR out, and I don't remember if I said this at the beginning of the video. This is a 1993 GMC K2500 with a 5.7 engine, and it's a V8 and throttle body injection. So I'll see you guys once we next thing we do on this, or next time when we put the EGR back in. Alright, so we got the EGR. We got it from CarQuest, and we got the EGR plus the new gasket. Here's the old EGR. Looks a little rough. Well, not a little, pretty rough. And then here is our new EGR. So we're just going to go up, we're going to install this, use the original bolts, replace the gasket, and make sure to scrape all the gasket that's on it, off it, so this seals right. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so now that we're in here, let's go ahead and take a look. I know it doesn't look like it's terrible, but we are going to scrape it anyways with our gasket scraper. And just make sure there's nothing on there. This might take a little bit, so I'll see you guys when I'm done. So I got it cleaned off a little better. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our gasket, take our bolts, and take the EGR and get it installed. See you guys once I get a couple things in. Good thing, our gasket's a nice tight fit, and we got our studs put back in there. So now all we gotta do is try and get them to turn into there, which is a little bit difficult, but we're gonna do it. Oh boy. Let's see where I can put this for you guys. You can still somewhat see. Okay, so just put in our GR around all this stuff. Okay, got it in there. Now I'm just gotta line up that circle piece, that hole down there. Okay, now I'll see you guys when I start getting these bolts tightened up a little bit. They're a little hard to get started in there. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, so we got both of our bolts started in there. So if I were to just go ahead and try and pull up on them, they seal the threads nicely. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this all tightened down in there so that we can hook everything back up. Alright, so when we do this, guys, we want to make sure we tighten this down nice and snug, but not too snug, so that gasket doesn't break, so it does seal in there. So if you don't have your gasket sealing, it's going to allow air and other different things to get by it, which we don't want. So now we're just going to hook up all of our lines again, hook this back to the EGR, this back up into there, and this back into the idle air control. So I'll do that real quick, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so we got all of our stuff hooked back up. I had to bend this mounting slightly back a little bit so that we could hook the new EGR up, but we got it hooked up, this line right here. So, and then we got the idle air control hooked back up. My things broke, don't worry about that. Try not to break them when you do it. And then that's hooked back up. So now all we have left to do is put the boot back over here to the air filter, to the all that stuff. So let me just get that stuff real quick, and then we can go ahead and put that back on. Quick coffee break. Can't do nothing without coffee. So I'll see you guys in a second when I get that stuff. That is something not to do. Don't drop your stuff. Not a good idea. Anyways, I'm gonna get this hooked up. So that sits on there, just like that. Not like exactly like that, but it sits on there like that. Once you get this all connected right, and that's not very hard. You just kind of gotta, I know I put it on there. Gotta lift that up a little bit, and then that will sit in there just like that. These little pieces sit right up there, and making sure those connections are tight. Anyways, but then take your air filter, and normally you would put it like this. I don't have the thing to heat it up right now, so I'm turning mine upside down. You guys can, I'd suggest you put it back on right, but I don't have certain things right now. That's why mine's getting put on this way. Then you just put your wing nuts right back up on here, and make sure the part that points to the front and says front is facing forward, otherwise things won't line up right. But, and then we go ahead and just tighten these down. Not too much, but you want them nice and snug under there. So, and that's probably about good enough for mine. And same thing with this one. And then there, let's get our tools out of the engine bay. Just double check on this stuff over here. Yep, all looks good. So, let's go ahead and get this truck fired up. And you guys, you don't have to, but I am personally keeping my old EGR. So if I'm ever in a pickle, I have it. I'm also going to keep the old gasket, even though you're not supposed to reuse old gaskets. Once again, if I get in a pickle, I have things that kind of work. So, but let's go ahead and get this truck started up. There we go. Still a little bit of a rough run, but there you go, she's running. See if our stuff over here is all still good. Yep, it's all still good. So we'll call that a win. We got that all hooked up. So there we go. Thanks for being here with me, guys. You guys have a good one.